feel that intense humidity, I'll never forget the day when that airplane door opened up, the humidity rushed in and it hit me in the face like a brick wall. I was the only white girl on the entire plane. That was a very weird experience. I was scared. Oh my goodness, Brianna Michelle, what are you doing? Why are you on this plane and why are you the only white girl? Well, I went to this tiny little island called Ibai in the Marshall Islands. This morning I'm going to tell you why I went, I'm going to tell you where it is, and I'm going to tell you what my life was like while I was on this tiny little island. For starters, where the heck is Ibai, and how do you get there? Well, on September 9, 2011, I got on a plane in Los Angeles and I flew to Hawaii, and I spent the night in a motel by myself, got up early the next day before the sun got up, and I got on another plane to cross the date line. Literally, I got to fly into tomorrow, which was really cool, and go to the Marshall Islands. And as soon as that door opened, the reality of what I was about to do hit me. I was very far away from home. I did not know a single person. I was scared. Why did I choose Ibai of all places to go? For those of you that don't know, a brief history of the Marshall Islands, the US did their atomic bomb testing in the 1960s, and they obliterated the island of Bikini, and so all those islanders had to be moved to another island, and that island they moved them to was Ibai. And it's extremely overpopulated, and the Marshallese people have a struggle with trying to hold on to their own culture, but yet they want to be like Americans. So it's a very weird culture. They have electricity, but they don't have running water. They have Facebook, but they only eat rice and chicken. Ibai this is going to be a very, very zoomed in picture. Ibai is 1 mile long and it's half a mile wide. What? So, why the heck would I go to Ibai? Well, I did not choose it. I was assigned. I graduated college in 2008 with my bachelor's in photography, and my internship turned into a full-time job. Yay, amazing job, woohoo, so exciting. Well, in January of 2010, with the economy being really bad, my boss told me, I'm shutting the studio down at the end of the year. You have a year to find a new job. Good luck. So in May, I applied to be a student missionary with the Adventist Church. I was accepted in July. I had to photograph a wedding on September 5th. I flew to Texas to say goodbye to my mother, came back to California, and 24 hours later, I left for Ibai. What was my life like when I was on Ibai? Well, for one, it was really hot and it was really humid, and that was really difficult for me to adjust to. In 2010, I had really, really long hair, and I wanted to keep it. I didn't want to cut it for personal reasons, but it was so hot to deal with. I always wore it up. Food. The food situation was horrible. They had one big, huge barge that came in hopefully once a month, usually every other month is how it came in, and when it did, all of us student missionaries ran to the grocery store to buy fresh produce, because as soon as the boat came, the next day was the only day that you could get tomatoes without mold on them, or potatoes without hairs growing on them, or onions that weren't half moldy by the time that they put them on the shelves. Life was very different there, but it was a lot of fun. One of the things that I did for myself, every Sabbath morning, I got up and I rode my bicycle down the causeway, which was literally blown up pieces of a reef put together to make a little road from one island to another, and I would ride my bike every Sabbath morning down the causeway so that I could get away from all the people and photograph the sunrise. And I photographed the sunrise every Sabbath for 10 months. And I have this really awesome photo idea to put them all together in little snippets and have one picture, but 10 billion sunrises for the same one because I was photographed it in the same place. I taught 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, and eBay will always hold a special place in my heart. My 8th grade English class was really hard to teach. I taught the 8th graders how to write a paragraph. One of my 8th graders in return made me this dress, and I love my Marshallese dress. She chose the color because it matched the shoes I always wore to school. My 6th graders drove me nuts. I literally wanted to kill them every single day. And when I was leaving the dock to come back to the United States, my most problematic student, Glenna, came up to me and she gave me the bracelet that I wear almost every day and this necklace. And she said, "Missa, wear this every day and think of me. I love you." eBay was a very interesting culture shock, but it was an awesome roller coaster ride. And there is a quote by John F. Kennedy that I really like. It ties everything together in my opinion. He said, "One person can make a difference, and everyone should try." And I hope that I made a difference in the life of my students in eBay.